Bienvenue à l'hôtel Le Plaza, Bruxelles.
Podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of HR Meetup Podcast live from the Plaza Hotel here in Brussels. Now we have two guests in front of the mic and we'll be talking in English for today, but I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Kamil and Mroz. I'm the project manager for the Your Future in Brussels project, and I'm from Poland and Canada, Polish Canadian, now living in Belgium.
That's already three different nationalities here in Belgium. That's already nice to see. And we have, of course, another guest. I don't know if she's going to participate in the...
Sure, now I can introduce myself in English. So my name is Magali, POUBLON. I'm half French, half Belgian. And I speak three languages. I work in HR and for the association, so GCI, we'll discuss that later. I'm the communication co-director.
Now, we're here to talk about what today?
So
Or
we're
would you
here
like to
today.
present?
Yeah, sure. I'll maybe kick that off. We're here to talk about the Your Future in Brussels project. This is
Okay.
a project that started in 2012 from JCI. JCI, for those who don't know, the listeners who may be asking, what does that abbreviation stand for? It's the Junior Chamber International. It's a volunteer project, volunteer organization, whereby project managers and professionals come together to do volunteer work, basically, to create positive change in their communities. So myself and Magali are members of that organization. And last year, we decided to organize a project based on that mission statement to create positive change in our community. And we decided to start this project, which was to help young people find a job. As you all know, there's around 5.5 million young people right now in Europe who are looking for a job, and they're really having a hard time. You know, sometimes they can feel like the world is on their shoulders. They're applying to jobs, but never getting any results. And I myself was somebody like that a few years ago. So I know that road and I know that difficult story all too well. So discussing these social economic needs of young people right now within our project, within our boards, we decided to launch this project. Basically a project that brings together those young people who are currently looking for a job with the right professionals, HR professionals, senior level managers, high level speakers within our personal professional networks, and bring them together in order to give them mentorship, to give them direction, to give them advice that can help them break this youth unemployment cycle. Because, you know, I think as professionals, we have that value add for them.
And how does it work practically? So I'm, for example, a youngster. I'm 22 years old. I have a degree in, let's say, economics.
Mhm.
I can't find a job, so I can just go to you guys, or you guys do different events, or how does it work from the start?
That's right. So if you're that type of recent graduate and you're having a difficulty finding a job, you should come to one of our projects. It's an event, basically, the Your Future in Brussels event. It happens every 4 months, whereby we bring together, we invite these recent grads, unemployed youth, stagiaires who are having a difficult time, together with the people that I described, the HR professionals, senior level managers, people who can give them this mentorship. And what's really interesting about this project, this event, it really has three core sub-components of the event. The first component being a high-level inspirational panel. This panel brings together very high-level people. You know, we had the Canadian ambassador, we had a vice president of a company, vice president of a European institution, give the young participants inspiration. Why? Because we found profiles of peoples that were once in a very difficult position in their lives, but over time and through their lessons learned, have been able to overcome those challenges and now get to this high level position. And it becomes a really interesting inspirational environment when you have senior level managers in a room with young people who are sometimes doubting their own, self-struggle. They're doubting their capabilities because just of the social economic context. They need sometimes a pick-me-upper. And this inspirational panel does just that.
It does remind me a bit of the Yes We Can, of course, from Barack Obama, that also motivates a lot of people, and you can see it on postcards too, of course, the famous Yes We Can. But in this case, it's more individual towards the youngsters, or because like I said in the example, so I come to your event. There are a lot of HR managers present, senior managers. There are inspirational speakers. Do I need to look at it as people coming by with different job openings, connecting with people looking for a job, or I see it more as a guidance of the youngster in like, okay, your curriculum vitae, you should arrange it like that. And you get another tip from an HR manager who says, okay, it's practical to also put in hobbies, for example. How does it work? Is it like a job event where you just go solicit for a job, or is it bigger picture like in a guidance and that you come out stronger, let's say it like that, out of the event? Or
I think it's more guidance, more inspiration, more practical advice. It's not like any job fair you'll attend. It's purely driven by volunteers. Every single person that comes, the speakers, the HR professionals, the people who are on the networking floor, who are actually junior level ambassadors, what we call them, because during the event, we have the inspirational panel, which is one component. And this really gives like a boost to the participants, some energy to get through the later parts of the event, because in the later parts of the event, once the panel finishes, we then let the participants have a one-to-one CV assessment. So we invite these HR professionals and we link them with graduates of a specific sector that they represent. For example, coming back to the economics student, let's say he wants to get a job in marketing or sales. We invite somebody from our professional network who's hiring in sales and marketing, and we send the CV of that economics student a week before to that HR professional so they can actually review it very openly, very honestly, because there's no actual job on the line. So it's not like them being in their professional context where if they're doing...
where they had to choose a candidate and things like that. It's just reviewing the curriculum vitae and looking at it as it comes over professionally to get a job, or does it has some lacks? Or
no, they're supposed to be as open and as frank as possible in this one-to-one CV assessment session, because what we wanted to do in this environment is take them out of the professional setting. Because when a young person applies for a job and maybe the resume isn't so good and they apply, the HR professional sees it, and the HR professional's goal is to hire the talent, the best person. So if that young person isn't good enough, due to professional norms, that HR professional will say, and send that general letter that they have stocked in their desktop for those poor candidates or developing candidates, let's say. Sorry, you didn't get it. Better luck next time. We thank you for applying. And the discussion stops there. And that young person may go through application after application after application without any real concrete feedback. Therefore, what we wanted to do was take these CV assessors out of that professional box, but while maintaining their professional expertise, which is what those young people exactly need at this moment in time, and creating this one-to-one, open, frank CV assessment, where they can say, listen, your CV, it sucks. Because we're in an open environment, there's no jobs, they're not risking their professional credibility, they're giving them real feedback. Okay, they're not gonna say your CV sucks, they're gonna say, this is bad, we need to fix this is what you wanna do. And there's a question and answer period,
It's incredible, because today with internet, you can find everything. So why it's again some difficulties for some candidate to perform a curriculum with the correct way?
Well, I can directly comment on Michel, my colleague here, because not everything you see on the internet is a given fact. Because I've seen a lot of suggestions on the internet how to put on your CV and things like that. But with having suggestions posted on the internet in no idea what country, I think there's a difference in what country you are, for what job you're applying, and those are the things you can't be taught by the internet.
And it's not general advice as well. It's one-on-one, so it's human relation. It's not. I'm not reading an article to know how to write my CV. No, I'm receiving like face-to-face, concrete advice on how to improve my resume. So I think it's a really added value. It's not a random HR article you might find on LinkedIn or Mashable or.
Do you receive some feedback from the professional guys?
The comment I've heard from a lot of the CV assessors is some of the young guys don't really know what they want. And their CV is just all over the place. And from a recruitment standpoint, people are looking for a particular profile going in a specific direction. And a lot of these guys don't know what that direction is yet. So when they sit down at the CV assessment, it's not only about assessing the CV and adding some points and constructive criticism, but in fact, it becomes, like Magali said, a very interactive experience, an engaging experience where the recruitment is now just volunteering. They're mentoring that young person within that 20-minute span.
To see where he want to go, does he want to go exactly with his CV. Yeah.
Where they want to go, what are their career aspirations, where are they good at, what have they experienced, and then they can start the assessment of the CV once they have certain concrete directions carved out. So it's a really special
So the first
experience.
difficulty is to explain correctly in the paper what I want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And after then, which kind of
Well,
errors?
I don't think putting up a photo from last night's party will help on the CV too.
I don't think so either.
Well, I don't think that happens a lot, of course.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about that it's divided in different core petitions. So we had the inspirational speakers, we have the CV assessments. What other petitions are there to experience on the event?
Sure. And then the third and final component is something that we call another level of mentorship, but it's really a one-to-one mentorship on the networking floor. We call it micro-mentorship, whereby we invite junior level professionals, so people with 1 to 3 years of experience that are very proactive, are very social, very engaging in terms of just meeting new people. And we bring them on board to be in the networking area with a very visible tag, a very visible label on their jacket in order for the participants to identify them and be able to speak with them. And we create this really micro-mentorship platform whereby the junior professionals give the most relevant advice to the people who are unemployed.
Because they've just experienced the same thing and they
Exactly.
just launched themselves, so it's still fresh.
You got it right on. Very simple concept. Just make the correct platform, make the right human connection, and make sure that the spirit of volunteering and helping and mentoring is there, and you can create this wonderful experience, this wonderful project. And so that's exactly why you need those junior guys, like you said it, to give them the relevant information that is the next step in their professional life. These junior professional guys have made it, are now in a career path, growing with time, and they're going to get to higher levels, and that's where the young people want to be. The young people don't want to be in an internship after an internship after an internship. No, they need to break that cycle because that's not healthy from an employer standpoint. When you look at a CV, sometimes seeing 5-6 internships just because they need to do something. Take an internship because there's no other alternative. It's damaging for like a career growth. You guys probably know, as already having experienced the perspective of HR professionals, you want to see on a CV of a young person years of experience, let's say 2-3 years of experience in a particular field, in order for that person to get then a manager position or a more senior position. And what we're seeing right now in Europe and in Brussels especially, it's internship after internship after internship. So
it's because the costs go way up, and we're in times of crisis, of course. So I think, the youth nowadays have more difficulty in building a strong CV with several years of experience because of that, because companies are just engaging people temporarily to help out the need, but when the need's gone, so is the employee.
Yeah, and
or is that a misunderstanding that I have on nowadays market? Or
Brussels is a special market. You find a lot of companies doing exactly this. They'll offer an unpaid internship to what should normally be a junior level profile, and they'll do